Hello and welcome back to my Tinkercad tutorial. This is Tinkercad tutorial part 2, where we add the spokes to the wheel hub that we built last time. Now, first things first, I do want to actually make this look a little bit nicer, so I'm going to change all its colors by clicking on the color preset here. I'm just going to make it a dark, no, I'm going to make it a slightly lighter gray than that. Okay, and I'm going to group this object. Just makes it a little bit easier for me to manipulate and move around later. So we got our wheel hub here. And now we are going to move to the part of this tutorial where we add spokes in. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the slightly more complicated way just because I think it gives you a better result. And allows you to be a little bit more customized in how you approach this problem. Now, generally speaking, spokes are built out of cylinders. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a cylinder here. And this is why I like to work in a little bit larger scale. I'm actually going to drag this a little bit larger like that. You can always go smaller later, but because we are working in Tinkercad and we're working in millimeters, this just makes it a little easier for the purposes of this tutorial. So let's drop this down to about a 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter cylinder. I'm going to undo that, sorry, I'm just going to make it a little bit longer. Now, we've got two different ways we can approach this, but let's approach this from the position of, we're going to rotate this cylinder by grabbing the rotate tool. You're going to hold down shift to drop it to 45-degree increments. And then we're going to bring it over here. Remember, you always have to kind of rotate around in Tinkercad just because you're not sure exactly where something's sitting. I'm going to drop this cylinder down so that it sits within the wheel. Now, remember there's that great hotkey of F. If you click F, you'll always kind of lock in on your object. So I'm going to click on that. And this is why I prefer to work on a slightly larger scale. Just makes selecting these nodes as you work on them a little bit easier. And I'm just making this cylinder a little shorter, like this, for the purposes of how I want to design this wheel. Now, I could just stop at this point and kind of position it centrally and then begin this sort of whole radial duplication process I did with the lug nuts. But I actually want a more complex design on my wheel hub. So what I'm going to do is a couple things here. Number one, I'm going to rotate this by about, I'm going to rotate it by about 10 degrees. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to create a little bit of a V shape to my cylinder, or to my spokes. And then I'm going to hold down the Option key, click and drag, and I'm going to create an opposite rotated cylinder. Now, I could just click on the rotation tool, rotate it back 20 degrees to compensate for the 10 I already turned it, but you can also click on the mirror tool or hit M. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to just click on the mirror tool right there. Now I have my spoke shape pretty close. I kind of do want to have it just hitting a little bit right actually at the same point. Now here's a very handy tip. It's great that Tinkercad wants to kind of snap to the grid for you, especially when it comes to small things and getting them to line up. But sometimes that grid is too big for your purposes. So you can actually go down here to the bottom right-hand corner, click on Snap to Grid, and change it down to a 0.1 millimeter. Then you can use your keyboard to adjust it by 0.1 millimeter per click. And that just makes things a little bit more precise when you need that precision. You can always go back to a 1 millimeter snap, but I find that this is super useful, especially when you're trying to combine complex shapes or angles and you need to really, really fine tune it. Okay. So we got the basic spoke shape. Now what I want to do here is I want to group it. So that's a single object. And I want to do one more thing, which is I want to put it on a tiny bit of an angle. So I am actually going to rotate it about 15 degrees. That's kind of happy with that. Then I'm going to raise it up so it sits right there. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Maybe bring it up just a tad more. And I'm going to once again duplicate it. Hold down the Option key. Duplicate it. Mirror it. And now I've got a really kind of nice dual spoke pattern here. It's a great way for doing all sorts of different things. I'm going to group these so that they're a single object. And now what I do want to do is I do want to make sure that they're pretty well lined up, and they look pretty lined up here. I'm going to zoom out slightly. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the lug nuts, which is I'm going to Alt and drag, pardon me, I'm going to click on it, I'm going to hold down Alt. This is why it's a little difficult to work at a smaller scale, but hold down Alt, click, and drag, holding down Shift so that it is on the same alignment, although we can always fix that later. Then I'm going to mirror this, just to flip it around. And I am going to make sure I do drag it out there a little bit. Okay. So we now have a fairly complex spoke system. I am going to select them both by clicking on one, just in case you'd forgotten this. You click on one and then you hold down Shift, you click on the other one to select them both. We're going to make sure they are aligned on all, on the two planes we need them to be, which is the middle and the vertical, which they are, and we will group them. It is super important. This does not work unless you group it because you need it to rotate around that central axis point. Now let's select both the hub and the spokes. That is, make sure, see they're slightly off from center, so I am going to center them here. There we go. And center them there. They need to be centered on both these planes because they're supposed to rotate around this hub exactly from that center point, so they do need to be matched. Now, here comes the duplication part. So we're going to select the spokes. We're going to hit duplicate. Then we are going to rotate. In this case, I'm going to rotate them. I think 10 degrees works well for the size I'm at. If you're following along, this might be slightly different. You can rotate it once, 10 degrees. Do try to remember that this is 360, so it should be some kind of an increment that will have it end up even at the end. And then, leaving it selected, just continue to hit duplicate until you are back to your starting point. Which brings us to the point where I have this really, really nice, super complex spoke pattern here, right? You can never do this if you were doing it by hand, kind of one by one. I guess you could if you wanted to drive yourself completely insane, but that's not, not something I would recommend. Okay, so spokes look beautiful. You could always do this in two stages with a top level and a bottom level, and then you could even do an offset spoke pattern for even more complexity. But in this case, I figured this was probably complex enough. So once again, we're going to select everything, and we are going to group it. Take a moment for the computer to process this. This is a browser-based program, so it does move a little slowly at times. Make sure it's a solid color. It's kind of processing away there. There we go. Wheel is beginning to be made. Now here comes the last section of building your wheel rim. Now this is, I think, probably one of my favorite sections. I kind of saw the possibilities of this when I was first experimenting with Tinkercad, and I'm going to show you how to do that in part 3 of this tutorial.